Coming into the newsroom and to Charlotte Fire. The department says they are aware of the smell and there is no need to call 911 right now. They're working with Piedmont Natural Gas to look into the source of this odor.
Yeah, and meteorologist Jason Myers joining us now here at the anchor desk with more on why this smell is so widespread and what's causing it to linger so long.
And I know a lot of us have gotten maybe the alert messages on our phones. They just went off a little while ago, so that would be one of the reasons why we don't have severe weather happening right now. This is because of that natural gas smell and just the 911 call centers just being inundated with a lot of phone calls, which really makes for more of an emergency situation for people that have real emergencies. So as they were both saying, don't do any more calling. But the reason why is we use the word inversion. Sometimes you hear about that in meteorology. And so as you go higher up into the atmosphere, typically it gets cooler. But sometimes where we call it inversion, that's where there's a warmer layer of air, and that keeps the air from rising, and that also makes the air more stagnant at closer to the surface and to the ground. So that can be pretty typical, especially in the summertime, to have these inversions. So that is not new. That is kind of normal or typical for the summertime, and that's usually when we get those code orange air quality alerts and any smog or any air pollution that's closer to the ground that really brings down the air quality. However, what's causing this natural gas smell? That's still the million-dollar question.
The Charlotte Fire is working with Piedmont Natural Gas right now, trying to determine exactly where this smell is coming from. But I want to just make sure. It's like there's a layer of warmer air here, and then below that, it's a colder air. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. So it's cooler at the surface. Typically, especially in the morning, it's going to be more of an issue just because it's cooler down at the ground, and you've got this warmer layer of air that's just kind of holding that in. You can even see this view here from uptown, and you can't see it, you know, and especially with natural gas, you're not going to be able to see it. Now, typically with smog, and we can start to see that sometimes. So this situation is a little different just because it has maybe more of that methane smell and more of that natural gas smell.
Well, it's interesting because you can't see it, but you certainly can smell it. Our producer Jess said that more alerts are going off in the newsroom currently. So
yeah. And the Mecklenburg County Courthouse was evacuated earlier this morning because of that smell of the gas. They checked out everything, and they found that it wasn't anything at the courthouse itself. But again, they've been sending out these alerts. What are they saying in the alerts, Abby?
They're asking people to not call 911. That's the big takeaway here because it's clogging up the lines in case of an actual emergency. They're looking into it, they say. They're working with Piedmont Natural Gas, looking to get down to the source of that odor. Curious, though, is there a reason for people to be concerned right now?
I think definitely the air quality is a lot lower. And, you know, the concern is there. This is a situation we don't normally deal with, having this natural gas smell that's so widespread. Usually that's more concentrated. I know just a couple of days ago we were thinking about, you know, what happened in Ballantyne with that home that exploded because of a natural gas leak. Not sure. We don't know exactly, like, you know, how potent it is in a sense that, you know, could it cause more of a explosion if something was lit? Better, of course, not to test that out or try that or have any open burning anywhere in the Charlotte metro area just until maybe we can find out some more details. So that is the concern right now. But yeah, exercising outside, anytime there's lower air quality, especially if you have upper respiratory issues, so anyone that's exercising outside, anyone working outside, could be a real issue as we go again through the rest of this afternoon and until maybe that inversion begins to lift. So what we're hoping is that we can, at least as we go throughout the afternoon, we can maybe have a little bit more winds in the atmosphere. But right now that atmosphere and that air is stagnant. And so because of that, that air is just stagnant. So until we get some weather that can help to maybe clean that up, there is the chance for some storms later this afternoon. At this point, it doesn't look like today will be as widespread as what we had yesterday. That could help, at least just to kind of help to clean up the atmosphere somewhat if we get some rain and storms in the area. But today maybe, unfortunately, when we could maybe want some rain or storms, maybe not as big of a widespread issue as what we had yesterday, maybe more storms even for tomorrow.
Okay, it's really important to note right now, the emergency officials in the city are aware of the smell. Do not call 911 to report the smell. They're very well aware of that. If you are doing that, you are preventing people with other emergencies like a stroke or a heart attack or an accident from getting through to 911. It's over a widespread area. We know at least a 5-mile square area where we can smell this odor here. So it's really important not to call 911 about the natural gas odor out there. They are very well aware of that.
And they're currently investigating it. Hey, if you would like to learn more about this, coverage continuing on the WBTV News app. Maddie Gardner, our anchor here, is going to be hosting that conversation. Meteorologist Jason Myers will also be joining her for a little bit more on that.
And then coming up at noon, we're going to be live with our Liliana Pearson. She's in Uptown. She is going around the city right now, checking out different situations, talking with Charlotte Fire and emergency personnel. And of course, Jason will be joining us again too. So again, there's a natural gas odor out there. No need to call 911. We'll have more later at noon. Thank you for watching this WBTV Breaking News Alert. We now return you to our regular programming.